This week's story is so crazy, if a movie's not already in the works, you can bet your Bitcoin that it will be. It involves the heist of $250 million in crypto, the failed carjacking of a Lamborghini, and two rival crews flaunting their crimes online, basically fighting for the title of world's dumbest criminals.
$243 million!
No way.
Plus some social engineering, a secret online crime forum, and Anne Hathaway. Who are the wannabe gangsters behind the failed Lambo jacking? Why did they do it? And how are their rivals, a bunch of dorks, involved in the colossal crypto theft? Better bag it and hashtag it, boys. Looks like we got ourselves another cybercrime. Okay. What up, hodlers? Josh here from Cybernews, and we're gonna hop right into this one. May seem a bit weird, but the best way to tell the story is a little bit out of order. So we're actually going to start at the end with the crazy scene that brought this insane case to public attention to begin with. We tap into our story on August 25th, 2024 in Danbury, Connecticut, when a concerned citizen calls the police
911, what's your emergency?
and reports a car accident and kidnapping. A Honda Civic plowed into the rear end of a sunburst yellow Lamborghini Urus on Damia Drive in Danbury. Then a white van cut in front of the Lambo, three men dressed in black jumped out and yanked a couple from the luxury car. They punched the man in the face, hit him with a baseball bat, threatened to kill him, and then tossed both passengers inside the van and sped off. A surveillance video and various eyewitness accounts fill in the gaps. Shortly after the report, responding officers discover the yellow Lambo abandoned in a wooded area, and the white van crashed nearby. When they open up the van, they find a 50-something couple inside, bound with duct tape. Sushil Cheadle, a VP at Morgan Stanley, and his wife, Radhika Cheadle. Sushil's been badly beaten with a baseball bat. Witnesses allege that multiple kidnappers fled on foot. Acting on these reports, police tracked the Civic to a nearby short-term rental property in Roxbury. There, they arrest 6 suspects, all Florida men aged 18 to 26. But why did they target this random couple in Connecticut? All right, this might sound a little random, but stick with me here. To understand the kidnappers and why they targeted the Cheadles, you first have to understand the COM, the criminal social network they belong to. The COM is an online forum where crypto scammers go to share intel, talk shit, and just generally hang out. But most importantly to our story, the COM is where crypto criminals go to flaunt their wealth. And it seems some of our wannabe gangsters were well-known quantities there. According to a release by the U.S. Attorney's Office in the District of Connecticut, the men are Angel Chichi Barrero, 23, Josue Sway Romero, 26, Ronaldo Ray Diaz, 20, Tony Pena, 23, Michael Rivas, 18, and Ricardo Ricky Estrada, 21. We know a little bit more about 2 of these guys thanks to a fantastic article from Krebs on security. According to Krebs, Ronaldo Ray Diaz was a flashy cybercriminal with a taste for designer clothes and expensive jewelry. Diaz gained notoriety under the alias Pantic on Telegram for orchestrating smaller cryptocurrency heists, and his reckless behavior included robbing 2 close friends at gunpoint. And Chichi Barrero was the young, ambitious organizer of the carjacking and extortion scheme. Barrero, only 23, already had a violent past, including an arrest for an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon in 2022. So why did these 6 Sunshine State screw-ups target 2 random Lambo owners in Connecticut anyway? Because they believed the Cheadle's son, Veer, had access to a shitload of crypto. Now, by all outward appearances, 19-year-old Veer Cheadle was a promising young man. In 2022, he completed Harvard's Future Lawyers program and even got a call out for his accomplishments on his high school's website. So how was this nice young man related to the kidnappers? Well, it turns out Veer led a double life. When he wasn't accepting plaques for his academic achievements, he developed social engineering scams to steal crypto online. And you guessed it, he did this with his own crew of buddies who also frequented the COM. They were the dorkiest group of criminals you've ever seen and included our boy Veer Wiz Cheadle, aka Swag, 20-year-old Malone Greaves Lamb, who also went by the alias Anne Hathaway of Miami and Los Angeles, 21-year-old John Dial Box Serrano, aka Versace God of Los Angeles, and Akash, aka Light Dark. And looks like we don't have photos for Box or Light Dark. Now, the guys in Cheadle Squad weren't violent gangsters. They were more like the dorks from Superbad.
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
Well, it turned out Wiz and the boys were somewhat well-known scammers, and they'd recently boasted on the COM that they'd come into an incredible amount of crypto, 243 million to be exact, through one of the most brazen social engineering heists of all time. And thanks to the reporting of an anonymous crypto crime investigator named Zach XBT, we can fill in the blanks in our story, because the guy did an amazing job OSINT investigating the Superbad Boys. According to Zach XBT, the heist went down as follows. On August 19th, 2024, the boys, at Cheadle's direction, launched a spear-phishing social engineering attack of a Genesis creditor and stole $243 million in Bitcoin. Spear phishing is a highly targeted and personalized form of social engineering attack in which the cyber attacker customizes the fraudulent email or message to appear as though it comes from a trusted source to deceive the target into taking harmful actions like clicking on a malicious link or downloading malware. In this specific spear phishing attack, Greavies, assisted by bots, acted as the primary phishers. They posed as tech support from Google and Gemini and called the victim from a spoofed number to trick them into thinking their crypto wallet had been hacked so they would reset their 2FA. Then they got the victim to share screen access via AnyDesk, which then exposed their private keys from Bitcoin Core. This allowed Cheadle and the crew to access the victim's Bitcoin wallet and transfer the $243 million in Bitcoin to themselves. Now, we don't have to speculate about how any of this happened because the Superbad Boys were so super stupid that they made a screen recording of their Discord server during the actual heist and then shared it to the comm.
It's on the
We
block.
did it! Oh my god!
Wait.
Oh my god!
After that, Cheadle and Akash attempted to launder the stolen funds, using crypto mixers to conceal the origins of the Bitcoin before they then distributed the shares to the rest of the crew.
You can check yourself, you moron.
I'm not taking your money.
However, what they didn't realize was that Zach XBT was on the case, and he tracked the fund transfers through the blockchain and figured out who the culprits were when their screen recordings accidentally revealed their real identities. Not only that, but once he figured out who stole the Bitcoin, Zach XBT snooped their socials and collected evidence of how they spent their ill-gotten gains, following a trail of, by some accounts, $500K a day of spending sprees that led to couture fashion, multi-$100,000 parties at nightclubs, gifting Birkin bags to models and porn stars, gaudy blinged out jewelry, and fleets of supercars. The level of hubris was just off the charts, especially with our boy Anne Hathaway. Though I have to admit, you'd almost want to root for the guys if it wasn't also juvenile and cringe and stupid. Because of their ridiculous self-incrimination, Zach XBT nailed them to the wall with irrefutable evidence of their guilt. Video documentation of the heist, how the money flowed into each of their accounts, and even how they spent it, meaning there was no way for them to wriggle out of responsibility for what they'd done. So knowing that, here's how our whole puzzle comes together now that we have all the pieces. Veer Cheadle and his friends identify the Washington, D.C.-based victim. They use social engineering to steal $243 million in Bitcoin from them and run it through crypto mixers to launder the crypto. They live large and flaunt their scam on the comm, raising red flags with the rival crew of Wannabe Gangsters, who hatch a plan, fly up to Danbury, Connecticut, and kidnap Veer's parents while they're out house shopping in their Lambo. The plan fails, and police arrest the Wannabe Gangsters as they're trying to escape. I, for one, can't wait for the sequel when Wiz, Versace God, and Anne Hathaway go to jail. As of this recording, Zach XBT reports that more than $9 million of the stolen crypto has been frozen and $500,000 has been returned to the victim. It's a far cry from the $243 million, but I guess it's better than nothing. Plus, on September 18th, 2024, the FBI raided a waterfront mansion in Miami believed to belong to Box and Greavies and seized a bunch of luxury cars parked there. According to Justice.gov, the 6 Wannabe Gangsters face federal charges in connection with the violent carjacking and kidnapping incident in Danbury, Connecticut. They're charged with conspiracy, which carries a maximum sentence of 5 years, and carjacking, which carries a maximum sentence of 15. Finally, when it comes to our Superbad Boys, the Miami Herald reported that agents in Miami arrested Malone Lamb, 20, who has residences in Miami and LA, according to a Justice Department statement. And in California, the FBI arrested John D. Al Serrano, 21. They are charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to launder money, according to the indictment. As of the time of this recording, according to Krebs on Security, Veer Cheadle has not been publicly charged with any crime. Which is why sometimes, for those who crave immediate justice, the best place to get it is the comments section. All right, here we go. Marvin Alata says, "If I was this guy with that kind of money, I would have left Earth yesterday." Seacon in 1912 says, "Wow, at 20, my kids are underachievers." Atmothorium writes, "Spending $250K a day from a $230 million bankroll buying Lambos and still getting no in Miami is crazy work." At Spoiled Prince replies to him, "This kind of negative riz is downright impressive." Okay. On a more serious note, Zain Chaudhry, 1459, writes, "As a cybersecurity student, social engineering is the most common way hacks happen. The weakest element in cybersecurity will always be the human element." True. At Chiberia writes, "$500K a night partying, $5.99 haircut." John C. writes, "How can the parents not be involved in this mess? House hunting in a brand new Lamborghini, for Christ's sakes? No doubt the victim of the $243 million heist was a client of Morgan Stanley." He's not wrong. And lastly, Fazd writes, "What is crypto? Sounds like a scam. Winky emoji." Yeah, it does sound like a scam, doesn't it? It'll never catch on. This has been another exciting installment of Trial by Internet. Look, we've had a lot of fun here today, but before we say goodbye, let's talk about something serious. If you think you've been scammed in the world of cryptocurrency, don't panic, you're not alone. First, report the incident to your country's relevant law enforcement agencies. In the US, you can contact the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center, IC3, at www.ic3.gov. They specialize in cybercrime and have experience investigating cryptocurrency-related fraud. You can also reach out to organizations that provide victim support and resources, such as the National Cyber Forensics and Training Alliance, NCFTA, a nonprofit organization that works to combat cybercrime in collaboration with law enforcement and private companies. Or the Crypto Recovery Alliance, which offers guidance and support for recovering lost or stolen cryptocurrency. Lastly, if you suspect ongoing scams or phishing attempts, contact your local consumer protection agency or report the fraud to the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, at reportfraud.ftc.gov or Action Fraud in the UK. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We're really going to have to hustle to find a story this crazy for the next episode. See you next time. Bye.